husbands to marry the beautiful wives. But thank God the KFC and McDonald's, they have changed the eating habits today. In the year 1493, they said that Christopher Columbus arrived down here, and he renamed our island after a missionary bishop explained St. Martin of Tours, and that's how we got his name, St. Martin on the map. Because the Arabs, they had named our island Soliga. So I guess Christopher Columbus didn't like that name, he changed it to St. Martin after the bishop in Spain. In a little while, we will be pointed out on the left-hand side, the downtown shopping area. For those of you who wish to go shopping on the way back, the bus will be giving you that opportunity to come off the bus to go shopping into town. But you will be on your own to come back. So you have the choice of taking the land taxi drivers, which will be on the street constantly asking you back to the ship, back to the ship. And the land taxis are $3 a person, that's 1, 2, 3. Or you could take the water taxis, which goes from back and forth there to your left-hand side. You can see it downtown shopping over there. And the water taxis is $5 a person from downtown shopping to the port. It's $5 for the downtown shopping right here. Or 20 minutes walking distance, and that's all free. Yes, can't say I did not give you anything free. That's all free walking distance free of charge.
So
if you don't want to come out into town for shopping, you can remain on board the bus and we take you directly back to the port. And there is shopping at the port for you guys who would like to go back at the port for shopping. It's a beautiful, quiet Monday morning, very relaxing Monday morning. Nice drive, beautiful weather, not too sunny, just a little bit overcast. So there to your left-hand side, this is a downtown shopping. Right here you see the colorful building. To the left of that is Front Street. So this is Capitol. On the Dutch side, this is Phillipsburg. This is the Capitol on the Dutch side, and the Capitol on the French side is Marigot. But we're not going to Marigot today. So this is my hometown, everybody. This is where I was born and raised. Here we have some police officers doing some training. And right there, you see the bright orange house that belonged to my great-grandmother. So this is 6 generations of my family. And growing up here as a child, all the buildings to your left-hand side, they was not there. That was a big open field when I was growing up. And there was a ship washed up there from Hurricane Donna in 1960. And I used to use the ship as my dolly house and my restroom too sometimes. Having 4 brothers, I was a tomboy. I would go everywhere my brothers would go, and I would try and learn to climb all the trees that they have here on St. Martin. Now the oldest tree I did not learn to climb was these tall, skinny coconut trees because they have no branches. So then I would cry, and then my brothers would send me back home to go play with my dolly house. Now when my mom was growing up, all here that we were driving, all here was water. And the remaining of that body of water is located to your right-hand side behind those trees. And that body of water is not a lake. That is known as the Great Salt Pond. Yes, it is the largest salt pond that we have here on St. Martin. And St. Martin had 12 salt ponds back then in the olden days. Here on the roundabout, you can see the monument of the salt pickers. Yes, I'll tell you about the salt pickers. And the building to your far right with the green rooftop, that's our government building. And our old government building, it got damaged in 2017, and that's this building here to your left-hand side with the red rooftop. Now, the salt ponds, 12 of them. So that's why the Arab Indians had named our island times in the past 140 years. St. Martin was once French, so it was once speaking French. And then the Dutch came, and we had to learn the Dutch. Then the English came, and we had to learn the English too. Along came the Spanish, but they didn't stay here long, so I only learned 10% of Spanish. The Portuguese and the Jews also came to St. Martin, but they was afraid that we had the cannibals, so they did not stay here at all. So I did not learn anything of that. In the year 1644, we had a Dutch commander by the name of Mr. Peter Stuyvesant, and he tried to capture an island from the Spanish. But while he was hoisting his flag, the Spanish, they shot off a cannonball and blew him down off his feet, and he blew off his right leg. He had to have his leg amputated and fixed up, and then he later on here today? No? Yes? Tell Mr. Pete hello to me when you go back. So the Spanish, they took over the island for 4 years because they was not really interested in the salt. They was interested in finding gold. And they did not find any gold, so they lost their interest in our island and then they withdrew their forces back to Spain. So this allowed some more Dutch and some more French to return back to the island of St. Martin. After many years of living here together, they decided not to fight anymore, the French and the Dutch, but to share the island between themselves. So what they did was appointed their 2 fastest runners to start running a race in opposite direction to share the island. But before the race started, the Frenchman made sure swap the Dutchman water with 100% gin to knock him out. So that's how the Frenchman, he got the bigger part of the island, which is 21 square miles, and the Dutchman, he only got 16 square miles. And that's how the island was shared, everybody, by a race. St. Martin is the smallest country in the world to be divided by 2 different powers. So on the French side, they're under the direct rule of France, and there they have a president to run the French side of St. Martin. On the Dutch side, we are a country within the Kingdom of Holland and have been appointed a governor to run the Dutch side of the island. In the olden days, St. Martin was a hub for trade. Besides picking salt, St. Martin also used to grow sugar, coffee, cotton, tobacco, and indigo here on the island. The French and the Dutch, they used to import the slaves from Africa to work on all of the plantations that we had here. Our little island of St. Martin had 92 plantations here on the island. Now in the year 1819, our island was hit by a very big hurricane which destroyed our island 95%. Because that hurricane stayed here for 24 hours. That's a very long time. And that mashed up all of our plantations, and because of the lack of rain and poor soil, many of those plantations suffered, and then slavery was finally abolished on both sides of the islands in the year 1863. The island then sank into an economic depression that lasted until 1939. The slave masters, they returned back home to the homelands, and the slaves that had picked up tables, they went abroad to the neighboring islands to look for work. So ladies and gentlemen, you're down to the foot of the town. This is Great Bay Beach, and there you can see your cruise ship. We have 3 cruise ships at the time of the day. So the slaves that migrated, some went down to Cuba, some went down to Santo Domingo, others went down to Curaçao and Aruba to work on oil refineries. It was not until the early 1950s that St. Martin became the only shipping port in the Caribbean islands, which opened tourism as our main industry today. So thank you everybody for coming down to St. Martin. Give yourself a lovely round of applause, guys. Woo! Thank you so much for coming down to St. Martin. Our first hotel was built in 1955, and here you can see it on your left-hand side. It was known back then as Bambini, which means welcome. And at the top you can see the fort, and that's where the Blue Off Mr. Peterson lay. That fort was built by the Dutch in 1631. As booming of construction started here very rapidly with our hotels, timeshares, and private villas, this St. Martiners started to return back home, and also many guest workers from the neighboring Caribbean islands come on down to St. Martin looking for work. By migration looking for work, my grandfathers, one came from the island of St. Kitts, and the other one came from St. Vincent. My grandmothers, one came from Aruba, and the other one was from Santo Domingo. So it's really not my fault. If you don't understand a word I'm saying, I'm totally all mixed up. As booked up construction started here very rapidly with the hotels, timeshares, and private villas, and we started getting the influx with many different people coming into the island. Our population has grown to over 90,000 people at this present moment. We have over 120 different nationalities that live here on our island of St. Martin. Our official languages, Dutch is first on the Dutch side, first is first off on the French side, but English is our mother tongue, is the main language, that's what we speak at home, and communicate with many of our guests. The currencies opposite the hospital, we have the morgue and the lawyer's waiting. On your far right, on the mountaintop, you have our longest and steepest zip line. It is over 2,000 feet long and over 1,000 feet high. So we have 3 zip lines on the. So school is closed. Most construction sites are closed now. So it's only now party time here on the island. Yes. The sports that we enjoy here in St. Maarten is baseball, basketball, football, soccer, and cricket, and also hand-played games of dominoes. You can also find some of the hardware stores here. This is Mr. Kuhlman here on your right-hand side with a green bottom. And we also have 2 Ace Mega Center. And we also have Ashley's Furniture Store. So as we reach to the beach today, guys, all the food and drinks is on you. There is no showers available there at the location. There is a foot wash as you're coming off the beach. There is no lifeguard on duty on the beach, so please exercise caution in the water. Sometimes the water can be very calm, and sometimes you could have a lot of ground surge, and the water could come rushing up to the beach side, bringing up the sand to the beach. Now, last month we had no beach there at all. There was only exposed rock. So the beach has been doing her work for the past 2 weeks. So we have a nice, beautiful beach there for you guys. Now, you also have lots of schools in this area, but as I said, the schools are closed at this time. The beautiful pink flowers that you're seeing here to your right-hand side on these trees, this is called a coralita vine. The older folks used to make a very powerful cough syrup out of that vine. So that is the coralita vine. Some people think it's a national flower because it looks so beautiful all over the place. But it's not the national flower. The national flower is the yellow sage. Our national bird is the brown pelican. And our national tree is the plumbeon tree, which normally blooms in the month of May down to September. So at this time I'm coming to the bus to pick up the pens and waivers, please.
Hey, we have good taste in excursions. Look. Yeah. Have you been to this beach before?
No.
Oh, it's cool.
A good one?
You'll see some more planes.
Restaurant named after you here. Sexy beef.
Did you hear me about the star fruit?
Yeah. I like star fruit.
on the signboard, they only put the big planes that come in. So you always will have a private jet coming in, a small plane coming in. I like to call those mosquitoes because they fly from any angle and take off from any angle. So they only put down the big planes that come in. So once you arrive, you can go into the restaurant. There is a signboard right by the bar, and you can take a picture of the signboard, and you can get ready for when those big planes are about to come in. Okay? Just like anywhere else in the world. You also have the mega yacht office. It's a jump from Apple. It's also in there. The yacht is called Venus. And here we have these little dinghies. Those are called the Rhino Riders. Now, the first time I heard about the Rhino Riders, I said to myself, does Maarten have rhinos? And for years, it wasn't there. I said, rhinos, where the stores going? I want to see those rhinos, not those dinghies. Back then, all the dinghies was gray, but I guess they just don't see the gray in the lagoon. So this is our largest lagoon in the Caribbean. At the end of this bridge, we have our runway. Our runway was first built in 1942. It was named after the Princess Juliana in 1944. The Concorde have landed here 4 times. And we are known as the 4th most extreme lightning in the world by Discovery Channel. Now, the pilot for Air France once told me, he said, Wilma, it's not a landing that extreme and dangerous. It's taking off behind of you guys, behind to those mountain tops. So if you look behind you, you're going to see the mountain tops. So the pilot tell me it's not a landing, it's a taking off over those hills. He said, because you don't want to get an engine blown out while you're going over those hills. And we make history. Thank God there was no casualty. Last year, December, plane was taken off and engine blew out going over those mountain tops. Thank God for the swift thinking of the pilot. He was a very good pilot. He managed to swing around and landed the plane safely, and everybody was safe to go. I heard that engine blew out all the way in the town. I thought it was fireworks because it was December time. But it was good. So we never had an accident here. In the 1970s, I think in 1977, we had some severe bad weather, and the plane could not land, and we could not land it on the airport, so they had to do a crash landing in the water. Alright? And that's because they could not land because of the wind, so they had to run up all the fuel of the plane and then did a crash landing in the water. So that's in the early 70s. But no casualty landing accidents was ever here on St. Maarten. So lots of private jets will come in here. Lots of celebrities will come in here with the private jets as well. So guys, we will be here up and down Royal Caribbean Cruise Line today, or the British Britannia. The Britannia ship, they love to come down here to enjoy watching the planes. So it should not be too busy down here. You guys can have a beautiful day at the beach. If you have any questions, feel free to come and visit me in my office at the bar. Yes. And you see where my office is? At the bar. So if you come in my office, you'll have to buy me a cocktail. All right. Did everybody have a good day? All right. You didn't bring any sand in forbidden places, right? So this was the Sunset Beach Bar, our most popular beach bar on the island, where you could have your beer in your hand and get plastic too. So over there to your left-hand side, you have our 5-star all-inclusive hotel. They had over 300 rooms where you see the white part is below, but the hurricane took all those 300 rooms away. So they had a total of 600 rooms. Now they only have about 300 left. So that's our 5-star all-inclusive. It's costing $300 a night for 2 persons, which includes your breakfast, lunch, dinner, access to the pool, the gym, the spa, and also the babysitting club.
300 a week?
There's also more beaches on the inside over there, on the left-hand side over there. There's also some more hotels. You have the Towers, you have the Cliff, you have the Sapphire Beach Club, and then you have the Lowlands area where you have all the celebrities and all the homes over there at the Lowlands area. And then as you continue over to the left-hand side, then you can go to the front side as well, and you can find the Gourmet Capital, which is Sandy Ground, where you get all the French cuisines over there at Marigot. So here we have our cargo area, separate cargo area. Everybody's picking up their Christmas packages from Amazon. And they're waiting patiently. Mine's got lost. I'm so upset. So you could touch down now that you've seen that we have direct and connected flights from all around the world. We still have Air France coming, and some more American Airlines are coming. JetBlue arrives. Sometimes we have like 4 JetBlues for the day, 4 American Airlines, 4 Deltas. We have the KLM and Air France as well as coming in. Directly connected flights from all around the world. So book your vacation, guys, and come on down. We have over 40 hotels for your accommodation whenever you come down here to St. Martin. If you have never seen a double rainbow, this is where you can find it here on St. Martin. Talking about rainbows, if you look to your left hand side, just above the clouds, you can see a partial rainbow right there. You guys see it? Okay, when we pass the trees, you guys will be able to. There's a partial rainbow right now. Anybody know what the rainbow stands for? front of you. Over the hilltop. You not seen it? Oh, okay. I think you were looking too high. It was very low, it's very low. And sometimes we have some double rainbows. And when you're here in St. Martin, you could island hop to our neighboring islands. Yes. We have
Yeah, I see it too.
30-minute boat
Like
ride
right
away.
over the
We have St. Bart's, which is a French island that's known for the rich and famous, and that's where all the Europeans come down here this time of year to go over to St. Bart's. St. Bart's is where you would buy your cheeseburger in paradise. Your cheeseburger over at St. Bart's would cost you $25 or more without that cheese. And then you could also island hop to our neighboring island of Sabre, Station, St. Kitts, and Nevis. So those are the nearby islands that you can island hop to when you come on down here to St. Martin. But I do have to apologize for you guys. They told me they had no waterberry, they ran out. And I was going to learn that 10 minutes ago, and they didn't have the island there. So I do apologize for that. I'm going to fire the bartender, okay? I gave him a verbal warning. I'm going to fire him for not letting me know. So here we have lots of the mega yachts coming in. They're right out in the water on your right hand side. I don't know if they had put a sanction on Mr. Romain Abramovich. He used to come in here with his mega yachts, Eclipse, and also his private plane. But he was bitten right mad, so they had to put a sanction on him. You like my winter? Yeah. What is the second Delta? Second Delta just touched down. So in the winter time, I get very cold here in St. Martin. I have to take off my blanket, my socks, and the coldest we get here is 68 degrees at night. That's very cool, huh? Now the rainwater has gone over to the front side. So you see we share everything. So now the rain is on the front side there, on your left hand side. And we have the sunshine. So they have the rain and we have the sunshine. So we share everything. We have 2 airports, 2 hospitals, 2 universities, 2 power plants, local police and French and Dam. Even to many of the bus drivers, they have 2 girlfriends, so one on each side of the island. Right, Edison? That's how we learn to speak his languages, it's French. So now we're going to take you into the Simpson Bay area, which is like the night capital. Down here comes alive for the tourists and all the folks that come in with the mega yachts in the evening time. And down here, it doesn't mean your birthday suits. It doesn't matter if you iron the birthday suit or uniron it, it's okay. So you could just take everything off and let everything hang loose at the Oregon Beach.
There was just a guest house. That guest house was called Horny Toad Guest House. There's Dingy Duck. There's a Desperado beer.
So now the price of gas still has finally gone down. I think we how much? It's about $5.50 a gallon now. Now, yeah, it's gone down. It was almost $7 a gallon a couple of months ago. here, so it's also crowded again. It's the time of year that I really don't like to be in this area because the streets are so crowded with tourists, you can hardly drive. So that's when we have lots of sailboats coming to do the competition from all around the world. And this bridge that we're crossing over opens up 3 to 4 times for the day, and that's what causes the traffic jam. So it lets in, so all those vendor yachts are probably waiting for the ship for this to open up the bridge for them to come on. And here you can see some of our resorts. We have Hilton's has just taken over this resort here, and this it will cost about $250 a night. The cheapest hotel down in this area is Atrium, which is also there on your right hand side. That's Atrium, that's the cheapest. I believe that's $175 a night. And then to the right hand side you have the Simpson Bay Resort, that's about $250 also a night. Right here we have an area where you could get your local cuisine right here in this parking lot there to your right. With lots of barbecue chicken and ribs, all of the local cuisines are there. And they are nightly with nightly entertainment, live bands, and steel pans sometimes. So you can come on down. As I say, the evening time down here is turn up and turn on live. We also have the fast food chains. Here you have the Burger King. We also have the McDonald's, the Subway, the Prisoners, the Domino's Pizza, Pizza Hut. Basco's always was here, but I haven't heard anything about them since the storm. And Popeye and Wendy used to be here in the 80s down in this area, but Popeye fell in love with Wendy and he went back home with Wendy. So if you're looking for a property here in St. Maarten, a 2-bedroom condo home, ocean view, you're talking about $350,000 and up. Inside about $750,000 and up. It all depends on your location, and the view. We have Coldwell Banker Remax in Century 21. If you're looking for property, on the front side you do pay property tax, that side you do not pay property tax. Transportation is not a problem here in St. Maarten. You can rent a car, you can rent a bus, a limousine, you get taxis. You have the public transportation, which is these small mini buses right in front of us here that carries about 12, 14 passengers, and that will take you from district to district, and it will cost you about $1.50 from one district to the next. Once you cross the border, it's over $2. So that's the public transportation. Here we have our cinema that shows nightly movies, 7 different movies. So that's our cinema right in this area. And if you want to ship some money home, there we have Western Union to your left hand side. You can ship your money back home or get some cash if you're running short. And as I said, all major credit cards is accepted here on the island. But when you're on a cruise ship, that cruise ship only works on the cruise ship. guy in the white shirt. His family owns 300 acres of the property from Gambino to the hilltop. He's one of the relatives of the statue that's there. That's Mr. Bell himself in the in the cream shirt. So if you want to talk about some history about the land there, you can talk to him. But if not, you can just talk to my chickens. Is the piglets there?
The baby chickens.
So 2 minutes right here. We're going to stop for 2 minutes, get a snapshot, and then that was Indigo Bay down there to your right hand side. They had new development property. They had no property damage during the year of 2017. Here we have some more liquid sunshine over there on your left hand side on the mountain tops. So our rainy season here is in September. Hurricane season is from late June down to late November. We are in a hurricane zone. So St. Maarten do get hit very often with hurricanes. And we have been blessed not to hit any big one since 5 years ago. Lord knows I cannot take another one. I already have my depends stuck at home. Yeah, I cannot take any more. So while you're here in St. Maarten, there is no poisonous animals. We do have the green bucket monkeys. And these monkeys was shipped over from our neighboring island of St. Kitts in the early 80s to entertain the tourists here on St. Maarten. They would dress them up in some pampers and pants and some hat and dresses, and they would have them on their shoulders so you could take a nice photograph with you and the monkey. Since then, the monkey have grown up and have started his own family right here on St. Maarten, and they are busy multiplying. We also have the iguanas. Those are some large lizards also found their way here on St. Maarten after a big storm we had here in 1925. And those are the iguanas. You can find them basking in the sun on the hot rocks or on top of the trees. Sometimes they try to cross the road to market for them. Then we also have the mongoose, which is a family ferret. Mongoose was introduced to the island of St. Maarten in the 1600s to get rid of the snakes that we had here on the island, and he did a marvelous job getting rid of the snakes. So you guys can carry home some free mongoose now and get yourself some pork curls for winter because he's trying to eat all of my chickens. Yoo-hoo! No one for downtown? Okay, so there's shopping back at the port. We're going to take everybody back at the port to do your shopping. But in Maarten here, for all years night, they put a badge out in the water, in the ocean, and that's where you get our fireworks for all years evening. So around Christmas time, they have some vendors on top of the boardwalk down there on the beach in the evening time for the Christmas time. And it was supposed to be demolished. So this is where we call the foot of the town. This is the east part of the island. And right here to your left hand side, you have the underground check-in hotel. And everybody just dying to check in and no hurry to check back out.
You notice their graves are above ground too, like in New Zealand.
While you're cruising here in St. Maarten or just stopping by and staying a couple of weeks here by the hotels, you can find so many different cultures here and so much different cuisine here on the island. Our national dish of the island, of the Mama Deli, was punji and saltfish. But nowadays, I think the young people like the faster food. They just love the barbecue chicken ribs today. You know what? Did you have the Johnny Cakes? Yes, so that's the Johnny Cakes. Now the Johnny Cakes is, the real name is Journey Cakes. Journey. Because they would make these dough cakes for anyone in the olden days. Remember they didn't have cars, they only had the horses. But you would have to travel from one district to the next district for a long time, and they would make these cakes that you could, because it could last a couple of days well before it gets spoiled. So that's why it got the name Journey Cakes. But they have changed it as time program. They call it Johnny Cakes, but it's not Johnny. The real name is Journey Cakes because it would last a long time without it getting spoiled. Barbados. So did you went to Nevis?
Yes.
Did you have to take a ferry or the ship went there?
Ferry.
The ship went there to Nevis?
No.
Nice.
I don't think she can hear us.
Okay, so you went to St. Kitts and you had to take a ferry over to Nevis. Okay. Because I know Nevis is very small. That's nice. So you guys did some wonderful islands. You did some real wonderful islands. So give your feedback on every island. Remember, you are the ship Eyes and Ears. It is a very new ship to the island, so do give your feedback. And also for vacationers who will be booking the ship, they will know which tours to take. So your feedback is very important for the ship. And make sure you can put your pictures on Facebook. Maybe YouTube can pay you some money for your pictures. Yes? So you won't be working for free. Alright guys, so we do appreciate your feedback. It will help me help my boss know that I was not intoxicated in my office today. Alright? Okay, so I'm looking forward because we do get the emails back from the ship. When you guys leave your feedback. So I'll be looking for at least 2 reviews from you guys. Alright? So don't leave it up to the next person. I'll be looking for your feedback, how you enjoyed St. Maarten. So if you had a good time, just tell them you was on the plane spotting tour. Your tour guide was Vilma, did a great job. But if I did not do a great job, tell them you was in Antigua and your tour guide was Antilles. Alright, so you had a good time. My name was Vilma and you was on a plane spotting tour and my name was Vilma. Let's give a round of applause for our wonderful driver today. Everybody for doing a good job. Now, you know I forgot the driver's name.
Edward.
I don't have him that much, so I just forget his name. Anderson. I always want to call him Etienne, and I don't want to call him the wrong name, so that's why it doesn't say anything. Anderson. Etienne is always in my mind. I don't know why.
Oh, look at that yellow house.
So we're heading back to the port, everybody, so get ready. You will be going to checkpoint security, so you will be needing your ship cards. Oh, here's my cousin in purple here. See, we have the same walk, same big bottom. He's a technician. If you guys think we did a great job, you had a good time, there's a tip basket up front if you'd like to show us your appreciation. We do appreciate your generosity. Your tips help keep our pockets rolling from day to day. These tips will be split between. Appreciate your tips. Most of all, we appreciate you guys coming down to